KASPA is catching my eye beyond any other crypto project out there right now. While the rest of the crypto market melts towards the downside, we're seeing KASPA rallying nearly 35% in just a couple of days. There's something really important that you should know about KASPA, and I'm going to share with you a speech given by Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin explaining something really important about KASPA. We're also going to delve into the latest news and see what is happening on this incredible project. So hit the like button and let's get into today's video. Now guys, what is going on with KASPA? You're like, why is the rest of the market sliding towards the downside while we're seeing KASPA move towards the upside? Well, unlike many of the other crypto projects right now, KASPA is still very undervalued. Even given the time in the market, I think KASPA is undervalued, and that's because of its pedigree as a project. Because there's many other new projects out there that do sound amazing on paper, we're yet to see that they are really likely to deliver. But there's something very important that you should know about.
The latest message-driven, greedy heaviest observed sub-tree fork choice rule is an adaptation of Ghost, which was proposed by Jonathan Sampolinski and Aviv Zohar in 2013 to a proof-of-stake context.
Now what we have here is Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin explaining basically the background of how Ethereum works, and then goes on to tell you that it's based on the Ghost DAG, which was introduced in 2013 by the team that is behind KASPA. And you're like, well, what is this Ghost DAG thing that he's talking about? Good question. Well, effectively, the Ghost DAG or Phantom Protocol is a scalable generalization of the Nakamoto consensus, i.e. Bitcoin consensus. Its design is faithful to the principles of Satoshi embedded into Bitcoin. So basically, it works in a very similar manner to the way that Bitcoin works. However, unlike Bitcoin that takes up to 10 minutes to make a transaction, KASPA processes transaction in about 1 minute. And another thing that is extremely important when we're looking at layer 1, such as KASPA, is the ability to deal with what is called the blockchain trilemma. What's the blockchain trilemma? Well, blockchain technology has 3 main aspects: security, decentralization, and scalability. The concept of blockchain trilemma revolves around the opportunity cost when working with blockchain technology. What this simply means is all other blockchain layer 1s, we're talking Cardanos, Ethereum, Solanas, etc., all struggle to basically nail down these 3 key areas. Ethereum is highly secure, very decentralized, but lacks speed and also is quite expensive. Solana is extremely fast, but also then lacks in areas such as decentralization. And then the list goes on. However, given that the team behind KASPA are probably the most well prepared to be entering into the space right now with a brand new project, which is based on tech and research that has been going on since pretty much the beginning of cryptocurrency. This is why the KASPA community has managed to grow organically from the team upwards. It's being recognized as a project that is old before its time. What I mean by that is Ethereum gets a huge amount of respect and is worth a lot of money because it's obviously the original blockchain. But we're saying that Ethereum is actually based on the blockchain technology that is behind the KASPA project, which shows that KASPA is worth significantly more than it is right now, and that is allowing it to rally into a bear market when the rest of crypto is struggling right now. And as we jump over to CoinMarketCap, we can see that KASPA currently is sat in number 216 and yet makes it onto 58,000 watch lists, a significantly more watch list than coins in that sort of region of the market. We can see, looking into the market cap, around $350 million. So it's not a tiny project by any means. Fully diluted, $530 million. Current circulating supply, around 67%. And people are like, oh, well, it's going to dilute. Guys, it's going to dilute like a little bit. Of course, but it's not necessarily that bad a thing, given how powerful a project this really is. This is a project that is not undervalued because of its time in the market, but it's undervalued because right now, because it's been launched when it's never really seen a full-blown bull market. It's therefore organically had to slowly build itself up. But we're starting to see it build from strength to strength going forward as the technology really starts to speak for itself. And we're going to look into this KASPA chart, zooming out to 4 hours. Now, if you are in my Inner Circle Discord, which is linked down below, just $9.99 per month, you would have seen that I was buying KASPA and putting it into my $1,000 challenge portfolio, where I've got $1,000 and people are able to follow along with me when I'm buying and selling each day in there. A few days ago when I was buying KASPA, down in this green zone, and we pretty much got the absolute bottom, guys, and we were able to ride it up around 38%, currently sitting up around 27% right now. What allowed me to make that call was the fact that we rallied up hard before, all the way back in March, and then we knew probably this was a buy zone. We then dipped into the buy zone a couple of times, and then we knew that it was more than likely going to pump. Now, to be honest, this pump has caught me off guard, and it is quite impressive how much it's pumping right now, given that the rest of the market is sliding further and further towards the downside. This is telling me that there's a real strength behind KASPA right now. As we come down below to the KASPA markets, you can then see that it's listed on KuCoin, it's on Gate, it's on BitGet, it's on MEXC, it's on pretty much every major exchange you can think of, obviously missing out with Binance. That means that we have an opportunity to see it getting listed on Binance. And in my opinion, it's only a matter of time before that happens. You don't want to be waiting for that to happen if you are interested in this project to be investing, in my personal opinion. I want to be invested when there's good news coming up in the future for a particular project such as this. I'm excited about what is about to happen for KASPA, given that it's already on all of the major exchanges, bar one, that is probably the biggest exchange of them all, not probably, is. We know that this is headed for some very exciting times ahead. So before we look at where KASPA could really go right now, let's just understand a little bit about what's going on. KASPA has the tech that could well revolutionize, that could take command of the entire blockchain layer 1 ecosystem, okay? Therefore, KASPA could become potentially the number one layer 1 out there. Who knows? It's highly recognized by some of the biggest names in cryptocurrency, including the likes of Michael Saylor, who in the past has never really strayed away from Bitcoin and is now starting to take a look at projects like KASPA. As you come across to Twitter and you type KASPA in, you'll see that it has a very hyped up and excited, enthusiastic community, varying from people who clearly know what they're talking about to a few more newbies in the game, which is obviously good to know as well. We've seen other projects such as Jasmy get a huge amount of hype behind them, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's in fact a great thing because it can help boost a project forward. We're starting to see KASPA getting more exposure on YouTube as well, which is another very positive thing. Now you can see everyone showing us down below how KASPA's been pumping against a market that is down pretty heavily, with Bitcoin falling 3.5%, but KASPA finding 10% gains. This is another key aspect. So we've got the narrative behind the project. We've got the small market cap size, or relatively small market cap size right now. We know that this is potentially a top 10 cryptocurrency that is developed way beyond its years of being actually actively traded in the crypto markets. This for me is something that is all coming together to make it look like a very wonderful investment. But that's not financial advice. You need to go do your own research. So as we get back to this KASPA chart, let's identify where we can go with this. Well, if you were following along with me in the inner circle, you'll know that back to this recent top, you'll get 191%. And you're like, well, why was it so important to have bought on there rather than this pump? Well, if you buy from the pump, then you get 120%. That's literally 70% less than you'd be holding if you pulled the trigger when you were getting my signal for that inside the inner circle. But really, guys, looking down the line, where can KASPA go? It's very tricky to know, given that it's got $220 million market cap. Now, I want to address something that I know many people are calling for. This is Ethereum, and many people will be like, oh, KASPA's better than Ethereum. It's going to be bigger than Ethereum in the next bull market. I disagree with you, because Ethereum is well known about. Lots of people know what it is, and that's simply how crypto works. A lot of new people arrive in the space. They know the words Ethereum, they know the words Bitcoin, which is why those cryptocurrencies will tend to do better than other cryptos that are less well known about. However, obviously you've got YouTube coming out, Twitter. KASPA will be getting a good eye in. Now, to anticipate where KASPA could go in the future, obviously, guys, this is very highly speculative. But let's have a look at Ethereum. Back in 2018, where it was a market cap of $135 billion, which is about 5 times bigger right now than KASPA. Okay, 5 times bigger than KASPA is right now. So a 5x with KASPA wouldn't be perhaps the most exciting thing in the world. Back in 2018, there was like a very small amount of people that were actually involved in crypto compared with how many are involved now, which is why exponentially we saw the next market cap of Ethereum sitting up at $540 billion. Now, KASPA has the potential, in my opinion, to reach somewhere around the middle of that, something like a $200 billion market cap. That's like a 10x. But there's fewer projects out there, in my opinion, that don't offer such a healthy risk to reward ratio. If KASPA is to be doing a 10x, then it is going to be looking up to around 21 cents. Now, there's many people out there who will tell me, oh, you know, KASPA's way better, way bigger project than this. You're not giving it enough credit. I might be not. Maybe I'm not, guys. I'm not sure. But many people out there have never heard of it, okay? You might have heard of it and you might identify that it's a good project, but there's so many other projects out there. Remember, for it to get in front of people, to really have the narrative that gets people excited, it might happen, but we never know for sure. So I'm managing expectations here. If you get a good 10x out of a project like this, I'm still going to be happy. I'm not going to be unhappy with it. I've seen people saying, oh, you only need this much money to make you into a millionaire holding KASPA. I could be wrong, guys. It could knock me completely out of the ballpark here and do something like $1. If it goes to $1 from where it is now, then, you know, you're going to have a good time. It's going to do like a 52x, which means you need like 20 grand to become a millionaire. But 20 grand's a lot of money, guys. If you haven't got 20 grand to be using to invest in various different crypto projects, and definitely not all in one basket, then, you know, play KASPA like other cryptocurrencies. But I'm just managing your expectations, guys. Think about it. Don't go all in just on the promises that you have heard from various people. We could see tomorrow the market pump even lower, but I think it's looking quite good right now. That's why I've been loading up into KASPA. Guys, if you enjoyed that video, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, then hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the very next video. Bye.